It's now time for weather with Nebraska Extension ag climatologist and Market Journal chief meteorologist Al Dutcher. Al, temperatures have been cooler this week, but the big story has been all the rain. Are we expecting another round of showers and storms anytime soon?
Well, Troy, it does appear that we have seen most of the heaviest precipitation move to the east of us. We still got some scattered precipitation chances this weekend, but overall a fairly dry forecast, and that's really especially helpful after the heavy precipitation that we received from Saturday through Thursday across south central, southeast, and east central Nebraska. 44 of our CoCo stations, or what we consider the anti-rain network, showed accumulations for the period greater than 6 inches, with a dozen of the stations greater than 7 inches. Kind of reminds me of what we went through during the summer of 1993 when we had the excessive rainfall. The farther north and west you got, the less the precipitation totals came in, and in fact the northwestern half of the panhandle basically came out precipitation free. So the areas that needed the precipitation got it, and the areas that didn't need it didn't get it, and that's about the best we can hope for. Got a halfway decent start on soil moisture recharge, but it's going to cause some some harvest delay issues until we get things dried out, and it does appear that this week may actually help with that process. So as we go to the upper air models, what we are going to notice is we do have more of a zonal flow. What's left of the remnants of Gordon is now going to move to the east, and we do have some weak waves that will move to the atmosphere that might generate some precipitation, but mostly it's going to be a dry forecast with an a surface low up in the western Dakotas. Most of the precipitation will be associated with Gordon as its remnants move off to the east, and that'll call off the flow. We might see just a scattering of precipitation in southeast Nebraska, but overall dry conditions. And that trough kind of moves toward the east. We do show low pressure at the surface on Sunday in western portions of the state. Models are indicating, at least at GFS, a slight chance of precipitation, but to be honest with you, I don't think we're going to see much moisture return into the region to enhance precipitation. So by Monday, another trough moves to the east. We're basically in that zonal flow. We do not have much in the way of any significant area of moisture convergence. So again, most of the precipitation lays to our east. Ridge builds in and warmth returns, and we earnestly start to get into a drier forecast. Surface lows up in the Dakotas and eastern Montana do indicate that there's the potential for precipitation light across the Dakotas, but again, heavy precipitation along the eastern seaboard, dry in the interior. And then as we get into Wednesday, we see that trough trying to move a little bit closer to us. Again, a surface low in the Dakotas, but that will be the concentrated area of precipitation, if any does occur, and most of it will be well up along the Canadian border, with the remnants of Gordon and that trough finally pushing off the eastern seaboard. We start to turn our attention to the trough in the western United States, making its way toward our region. We start to see Thursday surface lows being indicated developing in south central Kansas and in the western Dakotas. But again, moisture feed northward is going to be slow with this system. It's probably going to take a couple days, and it'll really rely on this trough getting a little bit closer on Friday before the high pressure system starts to push moisture up into our region. So we see surface lows again as we get into western Kansas and the western Dakotas, and we start to see that surge of moisture and start to interact with that front, which is poised to come through as we get into late Friday and into the day on Sunday. But even this does not look to have a great deal of moisture with us. So as we look at the 8 to 14 day forecast with that trough in the west, from next Thursday to the following Tuesday, the warmth does continue. We will be consistently in the 80s. And in terms of precipitation, the advance of this trough that's going to be slow moving, we will see an area below normal precipitation across a good portion of the Corn Belt.